The Testimonium Flavianum is supposedly a reference to the biblical Jesus by Flavius Josephus in his book, The Antiquities of the Jews, Book 18, Chapter 3, Paragraph 3. It is 125 words of adoration for Jesus from a non-Christian who wrote many hundreds or thousands of words about much less significant people. And it is my position that this reference to Jesus in its entirety is an obvious Christian forgery. There were 12 Christian authors who refer to Josephus before Eusebius in the 4th century, and yet they don't mention this testimonium at all. Yet Eusebius, under the authority of the Roman Emperor Constantine, all of a sudden finds this reference to Jesus in Josephus that no one had ever seen before. So now let's look at the Testimonium Flavianum. About this time there lived Jesus, a wise man, if indeed one ought to call him a man. For he was one who performed surprising deeds, and was a teacher of such people as accept the truth gladly. He won over many Jews and many of the Greeks. He was the Christ. And when upon the accusation of the principal men among us, Pilate had condemned him to a cross, those who had first come to love him did not cease. He appeared to them, spending a third day restored to life. For the prophets of God had foretold these things and 1,000 other marvels about him. And the tribe of the Christians, so called after him, has still to this day not disappeared. So how likely is it that a non-Christian Jew would say that Jesus was a wise man, or maybe he was Superman, and that he performed surprising deeds, and that he only taught the truth to the people who loved the truth? He didn't deceive any Jews, but he won many Jews and Greeks to his cause, and that he was the Jewish Messiah. His followers were faithful to him even when he was crucified, and that he was resurrected from the dead on the third day. How likely is it that a non-Christian Jew would say that Jesus' resurrection was foretold in the Jewish scriptures? And not only that the resurrection was foretold, which it's not, but 1,000 other things were prophesied about Jesus. And finally, how likely is it that a non-Christian Jew would say that Christians are still alive today, and yet he never mentions Christians again in all of his writings? I'll tell you how likely it is.